Everybody, welcome to Stack Your Points. Thanks for watching and listening. And this is the Friday Q&A segment. So your questions, we answer them, sometimes up to an hour, sometimes it creates its own episode in and of itself. So if you have questions, always feel free to drop them on the YouTube channel or email us at stackyourpoints@gmail.com. But we hope you enjoy this week's Q&A session. Thanks for watching and listening. Welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt Clausen from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined by RJ from Do You Take Cards? RJ, how are you today?
I'm good. I have finally recovered from the worst football game I have ever seen, because
That's fair. I was really only concerned about the halftime show, and I don't really care who played. And then 60 points got scored somehow. So, hey, these things happen. We're also joined by Tariq from Reek's Rewards. Tariq, how are you today?
You know, it was a 3-day weekend for me, and I'm tired. I need a weekend where I just don't do anything. And I guess I'm at that stage in my life because this sucks. I'm tired of being tired, man.
You don't even know the half of it.
You ain't tired yet, bruh. You ain't tired yet.
You ain't even remotely tired.
I know I don't have one of those little crotch goblins that keep you up at night, but like I'm not even looking forward. Like I am, but I'm not. This sucks.
That even without that, if you tired at your age right now, I'm sorry what's coming in 10, 15 years, bruh.
Yeah.
I would love to be as tired as you are. I don't even know how tired you are, but it ain't as tired as I am.
Speaking of tired,
sucks.
Yes. You're saying that to a podcast where half of the co-hosts threw their back out last week.
Oh my God.
I sneezed.
I lifted as you called them, crotch goblin. So yeah. And finally, just as tired as Tariq claims to be, we've got Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel. Unless, Lonnie, you're not tired this week?
No, I'm still tired. Don't get it twisted. I'm in a perpetual state of tired. It's just always tired. It's just levels of tired where it's like happy tired and tired. Yeah. But I did not throw my back out because I like to pick up heavy things and put them back down. I actually keep a weight that's slightly heavier than my son in my office. And I sometimes do squats and just pick it up. So, because I knew what I was getting myself into. But fun fact story, one, I hate McDonald's, but when a clutch comes into a clutch and he likes chicken nuggets, we had to pull over and get him a Happy Meal. They got this Pokemon thing going on right now where his Happy Meal ended up giving us a $70 Pokemon card. So you want to talk about overvaluing itself. I'm not even into Pokemon. It just looked important. So I scanned it and checked the internet. Yeah, this sucker, people are buying this thing for like 60, 70, 80 bucks on eBay. So that's my weekend.
So you got money back? You have effective money back for the Happy Meal? The Happy Meal paid you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I'm loving it.
I am happy with the Happy Meal.
Let me just say, until we get a check from McDonald's, I don't know that I'm going to be saying the words, their catchphrase. There we go. All right. So, as we tend to do on this podcast, we will jump into our viewer questions of the week. And we're going to start with friend of the pod, AP, who asks, what are your thoughts on holding multiples of the same card? IHG cards, Hilton Aspire cards, Citi custom caches. Do you hold doubles or see yourself ever acquiring doubles? So we'll throw to Tariq to start this one.
First things first, if you have multiple Citi custom caches, I'm going to look at you funny. I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm sure I know why you have multiple Citi custom caches, and I don't like that you do that. But that's just me. I am, aside from that, I'm all in all cool with it. I do, hopefully one day, if Chase decides that my address isn't like a blacklist for them, to get a second IHG Premier card, because I figured that'd be nice to have an extra free night cert, and I don't care if I'm paying the extra $99 for it because I get good value out of it. And maybe if I wanted to actually separate my business and personal spend, that would be nice. So I'm cool with it. I would like to get a second IHG Premier because, good sign up bonus, and then the extra cert will be beneficial for me since I do stay at IHG pretty often now.
Okay, so you're counting the IHG Premier and the IHG Premier Business as duplicates of each other.
I mean, the only difference between the personal and the business is that the business gets 5x on office supply stores. Essentially, it's the same exact card.
I would consider those the same card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. All right. So you can see yourself holding doubles there. All right. Lonnie, your thoughts here. Thoughts on holding multiples of the same card. Do you see yourself acquiring doubles at some point?
So, as of right now, I don't have any doubles. If anything, my wife and I, my player two and I, however you guys want to use the terminology there, at times we do have doubles. So right now we have, between the two of us, we have both Sapphires. She has a preferred, I have a reserve. We did both have Explorer, but she just got United Club Infinite. So now we don't have a double there. And we both have Freedom Flexes. I think those are the only 3 cards that we double up on. So even a player 2 strategy, we don't really double up too often. Now, to answer the question, is there anything wrong with it? Not if you're getting value out of it. Not if it actually means something to you and you got a purpose out of it. Now, I wouldn't say it's something that everyone needs to do. And in most cases, I could see it as a temporary thing. Maybe you're doing upgrade, downgrade with like Amex and you end up holding 2 of the same card at the same time. Maybe you're doing, trying to recycle a Sapphire card. So, you take your Sapphire, drop it down to a Freedom Flex, gives you 2 Freedom Flexes, and then you try to apply for another Sapphire to get another sign-up bonus. Now, long-term, like I said, I don't have any problem with it. Not something that I would do myself directly. Indirectly, yes, and let me get to that. And that's only because I wouldn't be able to find value with any of my cards having 2 of them. Now, using Hilton Aspire or IHG, because I actually have both of those cards based out of the question, I see why some people do Hilton Aspire. One, you can get 2 free night certificates. But outside of that, like the bonus categories, you're not getting double on. That's not adding anything for you. You're not going to get diamond status twice. You know what I mean? So that's not going to do anything extra for you. And that's where I say there has to be a reason. There has to be a purpose. If there was a purpose, like having 2 Freedom Flexes, where instead of having a $1,500 cap for a quarter, I now have a $3,000 cap across 2 cards, that I would define as a purpose. Sorry about that. As for IHG, I mean, I get it. It makes sense. Like Tariq said, if it makes sense for you and it does, then sure. For me, I can't see myself getting that. I don't go too heavy on the business cards anyway. Could I ever see myself acquiring doubles? Like I had mentioned, not directly, but indirectly. So I wouldn't need 2 Aspires, but I am now becoming more interested in the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant as I have some conversations and I see how my regular everyday travel and things like that are starting to happen. I stay at a JW Marriott or a high-end Marriott resort at least once a year. Literally, it's only like once a year at minimum. Where that once a year, that one card could benefit me, but that's still a $550 Hilton card and a $650 Marriott card. It's almost like double because they're outside of brand, they're almost the same type of card, but they're not. It wouldn't be an exact double because I'm using 2 different brands, 2 different properties, but that would probably be the closest to doubling that I would consider. Yeah. And as of right now, I'm just waiting for that. Hopefully they do another 185K point offer. If they do, whoever sends me the referral first, just throw it in my DMs. You got it. But I'm not going to accept the 95 when I know once a year they do like 100 plus, 150 plus. So that's a tangent for anyone listening, if you got it and it goes up, just throw it at me. It's yours. Referral's yours. Hopefully that answered the question.
There we go. All right. RJ, your thoughts here.
So I think this is a matter of degrees, right? I think if you have two of the same card, if you have, two Aspires or whatever, I think you're fine. I think when you get into 4, 5, 6 plus of a card that you're having, I start to
Citi custom cash.
question. That is one of them that people often do. But yeah, that's when I start to question, like, what is your actual strategy? Is your strategy to just acquire points to say that you have points, or is your strategy to do things in a very particular way, right? Like if you have to start getting a label maker to label your custom caches so you know which is which, then I think you've lost the plot, as we will talk about losing plots later with a topic. But I think that that's the thing, right? It's a matter of degrees. I technically have both the same card with the Amex Platinum and the Business Platinum right now. One's going away as soon as the renewal hits. I don't consider business and personal the same card. Yes, they have the same multipliers, but I think we need, or at least I have started to really putting business in its own bucket because I think we talk about it too freely, like as a community. But that's more because protections are going away in general and business protections are already so thin to begin with. So that's sort of a choice I have made as a person. But yeah, I think that having two cards can work, but it's also a slippery slope into you like going down some odd behavior to make it work and to justify it and getting cards you don't want to product change to that card, but you've now have 7 of them and you have to label make them. And if you put the wrong label on the wrong card, then you really just may have, hurt yourself in the long run.
That's fair. And do you see yourself potentially holding other doubles, or you're not? You don't see the value there.
For me, the only card that I am going to hold doubles in at some point in the future is the Delta Reserve and the Business Reserve, if you would count them as a double, because of the companion passes.
Also helps so you get like medallion silver just for holding those two cards at the same time.
Yes, that is also very helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, to echo the sentiments of my co-hosts, I think if you're getting some sort of value out of it, holding multiples of the same card is fine. Multiple Hilton Aspires, you're getting multiple free night award certificates from Hilton. You're getting, depending on how often you're at Hilton resorts, you can, definitely use those credits very easily for the resorts on the Aspire. I think that's fine, and that's playing at a level of the game that you're comfortable playing at, and you're extracting value in a system that and you actively use. That's fine, right? That's one level of things. And I think if you're gonna hold, like RJ's example, like if you hold the Delta Platinum or the Delta Reserve, or Delta Platinum and a Delta Reserve, or 2 Delta Platinums, or multiple Delta cards that are going to give you, that added benefit of getting you silver medallion status from jump, that's perfectly fine. That is a great way to kind of shortcut and get additional value out of your airline of choice. That's perfectly reasonable. I do think on the other side, if you're running systems, whether it's Citi custom caches or you're trying to hold, 3 multiple freedom flexes or freedoms with ultimate rewards, the old Visa cards that Chase is trying like heck to get rid of, but people just aren't getting the message, or custom cache. Oh God, what is the Bank of America one? The customized cash rewards card. Yeah, you pick your 3% category, and then you can turn that, depending on your relationship with Bank of America, that can jump from 3% to 5.25%. And if your strategy and your value extraction is, I want a 5% all the things all the time, okay, but you have to be comfortable with the label maker game because you're going to bone yourself pretty easily if you aren't on top of that. Like if you want to make that your your raison d'etre in this game, that's fine. But I do think holding multiples of, some of those lesser cards that aren't really that the value isn't immediately apparent isn't necessarily ideal. If you're going to stop, if you're going to present, give yourself a hard cap of $500 a month per category and try to get 5 times points on all the $500 spend. I love your dedication to time. I ain't got that kind of time. I ain't got that kind of desire to live that. If you're holding 2 Aspires for 2 free nights and resort credits like crazy, hey, you want to pay $1,100? Be my guest. I got nothing. I got nothing against that, right? You want to hold 2 Delta Platinums for silver medallion? Be my guest. That's your $700. That might be $700 that is more valuable to you in that application than going after the American Express Platinum card. Whatever works for you there. But if you're just, holding on to 6, 7, 8 cards of the same type, and you don't either have a way to utilize the cash back or a way to utilize the points, or you're just doing it because I need to 5% all the things, maybe look at other ways to not, I can't even say do better, but like look at other ways to better utilize your time, because then you're turning the credit card game into just a job, and a job that doesn't pay well. As for me, do I see myself holding doubles or acquiring doubles of cards? None of my cards currently have any reason to get doubled up. Until I do, I don't see myself doing it unless I went and got the Hilton Aspire and I could justify 2 Aspires. That might be the only reason. I don't fly Delta nearly enough to go after the Delta Platinum or the Delta Reserve and get a second one of those. And I'm not staying at Marriott enough to justify 285K certs, whether it be the Ritz-Carlton route or the Bonvoy Brilliant route. So, yeah. I have no reason to get them yet. I don't necessarily see myself needing a reason to get them. But, long arc of time, we'll see what happens. Yeah, so thanks, AP. We'll jump to our next question that comes from friend of the show, Keith. Keith's got a couple questions this week, so we're going to do the first one from Keith, and then we're going to come back to Keith in a little bit. But Keith's first question is, now that most premium smartphones cost over $1,500 and are creeping up toward the $2,000 mark, it seems that cell phone coverage through credit cards leaves us with only partial coverage. Most banks provide between $600 and $1,200 of coverage for lost or damaged phones. Which card do you currently use to pay your phone bills? And is there a better overall points earning card on the market for monthly phone bills? Lonnie, as the chief cell phone correspondent of the podcast with your many phones, how do you approach cell phone coverage, and the like? And you're muted.
Sorry about that. I am not surprised that this question's coming to me first. First off, I totally agree with you, Keith. Cell phones aren't cheap nowadays, and the flagship ones are definitely up there, usually starting off at 900 plus. Let's call it 1,000. And then, of course, there's other brands that are in folding phones that are pushing, 15, not even to 15, but even closer to 2,000. As I start to like folding phones more and more often. Now, You're 100% right. There's lots of different credit cards out there that offer cell phone protection. Almost anything with MasterCard on it offers cell phone protection. I think the Platinum offer also offers cell phone protection. Usually it's like $800 after a $50 deductible or whatever you want to call it. So like 750, whatever. But if you're buying a phone that costs $1,000, yeah, you're still coming out of pocket a little bit. Now, there's two things that you could do towards that. One is don't buy $1,000 phone, buy something a little bit cheaper. If you don't want to do that, well, then at least you know you have up to $800 that's covered. Now, there are other options. Of course, you could also buy insurance through your cell phone carrier or third party. That also costs. And if you damage your phone, there's places like iFixit or You Break iFix, those types of cell phone repair stores. And depending on how accident prone you are, that could cost you more than $800 as well. Where it might, if you dropped it twice, you might as well just go buy a new phone. Now, me personally, and the reason why Matt came to me is one, I like basically, you can say I collect cell phones. I probably buy like 2, 3, 4 of them a year, to be completely honest, not even making this up. And I buy them at full retail for that purpose. Now, getting to your question side of it, you'd be surprised. I actually pay my cell phone bill with my Chase in cash because I get 5X for paying the bill. Most of those cards that have the cell phone protection don't have a multiplier that high. If anything, it's usually 1X. Like Built is 1X, Platinum is 1X, Freedom Flex is 1X. I mean, the Freedom Unlimited is 1.5, but it doesn't have cell phone protection on it. And so for me, I'd rather go for the points than for the protection itself. And that's because just like there's this credit card game, there's also the shoe game that I'm in. I'm in the Lego community as well. And so I'm also in the tech community, especially when it comes to cell phones, and that level of technology. And once you become accustomed to the game, you can understand that like I could actually just go sell my old phone or trade it in, like because I know the community of people that will even buy a used one at a better rate for me to buy another full retail one than I could ever get from cell phone protection. Have to go through that rigmarole of filing the claim, waiting for the check, or not waiting for the check, but putting it on this particular card, calling it in, all that stuff. It just, hey, you want this phone? And I dropped it, I cracked it, or it might be in pristine condition. I'm pretty good at taking care of mine. So in my case, I get high value because they're in pristine condition. So, but I wouldn't necessarily say that cell phone protection is bad. It is taking the majority of the spend away. So if you broke your $1,000 phone or lost it or stolen or damaged in whatever way, you want to pay another $1,000, you want to pay $200. And that's the way that I would look at it. No further than that. We don't need to get into details on what you're earning or anything like that. If anything happened, do you want to pay another 1,000 or would you rather just pay 200? If you look at it that way, that's the way I would approach cell phone protection and which cards you would use. Because we've all talked about this before on, yes, you might have a card that has a better bonus category. It could earn something better, but you're just like, I'm going to use this one because of XYZ. Like we just had this last question about Citi Custom Cash and 5X everything or MX Gold. That only gets 4X at grocery. Like which one actually fits better in your setup, the way that you could use it. And in this case, you look at the exact same way. Buy it through your cell phone carrier. Don't buy it at all. Use a certain credit card that may or may not get you extra points, but covers you. And to answer the second part, which I already did, I use my Chasing Cash because I get 5X at Verizon on it. So that's it. That's all I could really say on this. Just, choose your own adventure.
Now, Lonnie, as a quick follow-up before I throw it to the next person, does Google have a comprehensive, like something for Pixel phones? Like there's Apple's Apple Care. does Google have something similar, like a sort of insurance program or something where like you'll pay an extra fee when you buy the phone and you're sort of covered for the life of that phone?
I know they used to.
Okay.
So when they did, like, you could do that installment plan directly through them for Pixel devices. I think they called it Pixel Pass. I think it's deprecated now. They got rid of it already.
That's a Google product.
It did have that, but I don't know
Mhm.
if I just went to the Google store, bought the phone, which I normally do. Actually, yes, they do.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, because I buy my Pixel devices, which I'm using one right now. I buy my Pixel devices directly through the Google store, and it does have that little pop up of like, do you want the extended warrant, the extra warranty protection, or anything like that? I never buy it. I'll just
Got it.
say, you know what? If I can just rock it out for 6 months and not damage the thing, I'll get enough money back in 6 months because it's so new. People are still buying new ones in 6 months, where I can flip to like, well, Samsung just released the S25 Ultra like a couple of weeks ago. I could like easily switch over. So it's like all I really need to do is not damage this thing for like 4 months or 6 months. And I know I always get the best value, where in my case, that 1,000 or that 1,500, I'm going to get more than $800 back on a phone that costs 1,000 or $2,000. See what I'm saying? So it's better for me
Yep.
to just play the game within that particular community versus worry about the protections itself.
Got it. Okay. Thanks. RJ, we'll throw to you next as the next most tech enthusiast.
I think Lonnie and I are probably close. I'm just on a very different ecosystem than Lonnie is.
Because your ecosystem only makes one phone a year.
Yes.
My ecosystem makes 4 phones a year. They're just very similar
No.
to each other.
It's one phone. That's why they all have the same number and a different name after said number. So it's one phone. They have one launch a year.
I would argue there's 2 phones. I would argue the pros and the non-pros would each be a phone. And
I
then
know.
there's 2 flavors of each.
It's all iPhone, whatever number, Pro, Max, iPhone, whatever number, Max. It's all the same phone. They release 4 of the same phone.
I would
One time a
strongly
year.
disagree with that based on anyway, we're not doing a tech podcast,
I was
guys.
saying this is a credit card podcast. When we bring in
Anyway.
MTBHD here soon?
We've fallen into an accidental text podcast.
It was good. Might even make that a title, Matt.
Saying, oops,
Anyway.
tech show.
So Samsung has Samsung Care Plus. Google has Google Preferred Care for Pixel devices. I buy Apple Care. Like I just buy Apple Care when I get my phone or my iPad or my computer or whatever device I'm getting. And I don't care about the credit card I use. I just don't. Because I don't need it because I have the Apple Care. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that if you don't want to buy that and you want the cell phone protection, then yeah, a new phone, I think my last phone was like 1,600 because I got a terabyte of storage on it. And yes, Apple likes to premium up that storage. I get it. But like, I have Apple Care. So I don't care. Like, whatever credit card I pay my phone plan on doesn't matter because I have Apple Care. I know when Keith asked this question, he was very upset that the Apple Card doesn't have cell phone protection, but the Apple Card doesn't have cell phone protection because Apple has service revenue that they need to keep up. And if you want to mess with their service revenue, Keith, Tim Apple will come to your house and he will fight you. And then he will hand your mother an iPhone because she should also be on an iPhone. But yeah, no, that's the reason the Apple Card doesn't have it is because Apple wants to sell it to you. So them putting it on the card would be counterproductive. Technically, the Apple Card is like the highest end MasterCard, but Apple got MasterCard to agree to take some things off of the Apple Card, like cell phone protection, because they want to sell it to you. Not my favorite thing Apple has ever done, I will admit. But yeah, no. So I only do Apple products. I don't do Androids because I like all of my things to work together. So I don't have experience with the Android of it all, but with Apple, you get Apple Care and then you don't really worry about it.
Makes sense. Tariq, your thoughts here. Oh, wait, hold on. RJ, do you
Yes.
care about cell phone cell phones as a multiplier?
I'm on a family plan. I haven't paid a cell phone bill in 15 years, and I will get off of that family plan over somebody's death.
Okay, fair. Tariq.
So I share a lot of sentiment with RJ on the cell phone protection. I too have an iPhone. I haven't had to buy an iPhone. The last iPhone that I have, my current iPhone is a 14 Pro. The only reason why I have is because my dad bought the phone. Then he realized he wanted the 14 Pro Max, so he just gave it to me. Cool, great. Now I have to worry about it. He had Apple Care paid for it. Going forward, if I want to fork over 4 figures for a cell phone, which the thought of that is absurd to me, I'm not going to worry about whatever card multiplier has or card that I have that has cell phone protection. I have the Freedom Flex. But if I'm buying an iPhone, I'll just buy Apple Care. And fun fact, Apple has a gift card on Mileage Plus X, so I'll just use an Apple gift card to pay for Apple Care. Problem solved. I can stack that way. So cool. In regards to whatever card that I use as a multiplier, I don't know. I'm on a family plan. I ain't never paid a phone bill, so just gonna hope for that. I'm riding that till the wheels fall off. And if I do have to start paying for, at least my part in the phone bill, I'm just gonna be cash out my family $50. So yeah, no card for that. And I'm not gonna try to convince them to let them use my card. Yeah, that's too complicated. Screw that. So family plan, riding that till the wheels fall off. And if not, just gonna send my pops $50 a month for my part of the phone bill. It is what it is.
Nope, makes sense. Like RJ and Tariq, I also have an iPhone. I will buy the annual Apple Care Plus with theft and loss for the phone that I have. It's $140 for the year. I will always pay a year up front because I don't want to have it be a monthly charge that I just forget about and then lose track of. So I will put everything together when I buy if I purchase the phone in full, I will put everything all together. If I'm purchasing the phone on my Apple Card and doing it in installments, I will also include the breakdown of that yearly price as best I can, or I'll just re-up it annually for $140 for the phone that I carry. I will pay for the coverage using the Chasing Cash, or I'm paying my partner's cell phone bill through the Chasing Cash. They give me the money later, so I roll with that as well. So Chasing Cash, I do the 5 times points. I get Apple Care. If you have a Samsung device, Samsung Care is also an option for you. I just don't want to go through the nonsense of having to go to AT&T, and AT&T could say X while Apple would just say we're awesome and fix it the way that I expect it to be fixed, as I've always had Apple Care. I don't want to fight with AT&T. I don't want to fight with Wells Fargo. Fun fact though, every Wells Fargo credit card, every single one of them has cell phone protection. Autograph Journey, Autograph, Reflect, the balance transfer card from Wells Fargo, a card that doesn't give you any cash back, doesn't give you any rewards whatsoever, has cell phone protection. The Active Cash has cell phone protection. The Attune has cell phone protection. And I'm 99% sure that the Signify Cash also has cell phone protection. Oh, they're co-branded cards. They're co-branded cards. All of their co-branded cards have cell phone protection. The Choice cards have cell phone protection. The One Key cards have cell phone protection. The Built card also has cell phone protection. If cell phone protection is a thing that you need to worry about with a credit card, Wells is your issuer. Just going to put that out there.
I just need to know, Matt,
Yeah.
Does the debit card have cell phone protection? If the debit card has cell phone protection, I'm just gonna laugh my ass off because that's absolutely hilarious.
Effing probably. Like my new debit card to replace because my last debit card just aged out, just came today. I could go double check the paperwork at some point and like come back next episode and tell you the debit card comes with cell phone protection. Um, don't know about the debit card. Don't particularly care about the debit card. I don't use the debit card except to like take money out from time to time, and I do that with my iPhone. Like I use Apple Pay to initiate the debit card process transaction. Um, I don't even look at my debit card anymore. But if cell phone protection is a thing you need to worry about, Wells Fargo is your assurer. Go to Wells Fargo, get a Wells Fargo card, any Wells Fargo card. It will have cell phone protection. It'll have varying degrees of cell phone protection because I think the autograph journey is up to $1,200. The Venture X also does cell phone protection. Um, there's a bunch of cards that will offer cell phone protection as long as you're paying for the plan as well using the card. And double check your terms and conditions on these things as well. Like most cards will stipulate that you have to pay for your phone plan or your phone with the card. So if you pay for the card in full, you should be good. But if you're paying as part of like your monthly AT&T bill or Verizon bill, just make sure that you're double checking those terms and conditions. So yeah, I buy AppleCare. I put it on a 5 times points earning card to get back the most number of points, but very other cards will work as well. The Ink Preferred from Chase will do 3 times points and will give you cell phone protection, so that's kind of the best of both worlds. Otherwise, grab a card that has cell phones as a category and gives you cell phone protection. It's a little stack right there. RJ, do you have any real time follow up on this one?
I do have real-time follow-up. The Signified Business does not have cell phone protection according to the online literature I can find for them on the Wells Fargo site. You do get ID theft protection though.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure on the business card. Like I hold the business card, but like every Wells Fargo consumer card, every single one of them has cell phone protection. Um, Cards that don't have cell phone protection that are allergic to cell phone protection, Citi cards. The AT&T card from Citi will give you thank you points, won't do jack if you break your phone.
Because AT&T also has money that to be made in phone protection plans. I should know that. My best friend works at AT&T and he tells me all about this. That's all I'm going to say about that because I don't want to dox his information. I don't want to dox his livelihood. But yeah, AT&T, they, especially at the retail stores, they push for those protection plan sales. So no, that credit card is not going to have any protection. But let's be honest, Citi's the same manufacturer that will lock your account if you try to put your card on mobile wallet. So are we surprised here?
No.
I think I mentioned this before, but I actually used to work for Verizon. Literally, I used to work for Verizon. Yeah, they make a crap ton of money off of that, which is why they push it so hard. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but I think one of the cheapest things they sell you at a cell phone store, and this is not me being speculative, I'm being completely honest, is an actual cell phone. The cheapest thing they sell you.
Because they'll just hand it to you. Hilariously, real quick, the AT&T thank you point earning card from Citi does not give you a multiplier for cell phone service. I'm just going to let you sit on that one.
Citi's gonna Citi.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to our next question. This one's a lengthy setup, so bear with me. My apologies. This comes from Jared T, who says, so I've been considering the best route to get status to get a better experience. So if I pick American Airlines as my domestic or secondary partner, I can earn status more specifically. One second. Yeah. I earn status
I think they mean
more easily.
specifically.
Specifically, okay, sorry. By stacking using AA, the e-shopping portal, the dining program, the travel portal for hotels, etc., possible spend on credit card, he's considering adding the Citi Advantage Executive World Elite MasterCard, which would provide him some additional benefits when flying on Citi Metal, and would provide him access to the Admirals Club when he flies Cathay Pacific. So here's a theoretical question. Just imagine that there's no premium cards for United flyers, no premium cards for Delta flyers, no premium cards for JetBlue. There are no premium cards for JetBlue. Don't believe anything that anyone says about a premium card from JetBlue. It doesn't exist. And there's no stacking ways to build loyalty points. But you have a route to earn status through one of your airline partners, such as Oneworld. This airline has a premium credit card that allows you lounge access when you fly your US airlines, and they have all the stacking options. All the airlines in your airline alliance have the same options. So which airline would you pick from the alliance, and would you choose to earn status throughout another airline? Let me try and work through this. American Airlines is the easiest one to kind of spend your way to status with their loyalty points. 1 mile equals 1 loyalty point when spending on the card. 1 mile equals 1 loyalty points when spending through the shopping portal. 1 mile equals 1 loyalty point across the board. Let's say that's not the case. Let's say you also don't have the United Club Infinite card doesn't exist. The Delta Reserve doesn't exist, so on and so forth. But there's a premium credit card available from another partner in the same alliance. So Oneworld, Star Alliance, and SkyTeam. That card will offer some status, will offer some lounge access. Would you go after that card? So I will throw this to Lonnie first. There was like a premium Star Alliance card that was outside of United that would still like backdoor status to United.
Yeah, I understand the question, but my answer is going to be no. I still wouldn't be interested in said card, especially for United or Star Alliance. But specifically for United, because I know the most about them for obvious reasons. And the reason why is I understand, I know he said no premium cards. So then Club Infinite will get kicked out of there, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway. And it's funny that you bring this up because it's actually my next video is about these specific United cards. But you can actually earn status through the card. Now, I don't think there's any airline out there, especially the big three, the ones that I say that matter, where you can just get a card and you instantly get status. But with United, they have cards in which you spend and then you earn your premier qualifying points. Those are how you actually earn status with United. Frequent flyer miles do not earn you status with United. In most airlines, it does not actually go towards status. Flying and then whatever they want, medallions or PQPs or whatever it is, those are what actually earn you status. Now, United has three cards, which you spend and earn PQP. The first one is the Explorer card, and you can max out at 1,000 a year, which is absolutely nothing. 1,000 PQP is not going to get you very far. But the reason why I bring that up is because the Quest card, the purple card, you can actually max out at 9,000 PQP, which is a good amount. But it's $20. Every $20 you spend, you get 1 premier qualifying point. You need 6,000 premier qualifying points to hit silver, which is their first status level. So you don't need to do the math. I've already done it for you. If you want to max out the PQP on the Quest card, that 9,000, it'll cost you about $130,000 in a year. Chances are you're not going to spend that. You're not going to spend over $100,000 for 9,000 PQP. So you know what's cheaper? Just buying some flights. Literally just buying first class on a fraction of that cost. And you'll just get status naturally, organically. And The reason why I said I'm not going to, I understood why he said don't talk about the premium cards but I am going to, because the Club Infinite card can actually max out at 15,000 PQP for a calendar year, January to New Year's Eve. It gets 1 point for every $15 that you spend on that card. So to get to 15,000, to max that out, and that 15,000 would only get you gold status, which is this one step above silver. You're not platinum, you're not 1K. So if you want to get platinum or 1K, you have to fly. There's no other, I mean, you can still buy it, but now we're just adding more costs. And the reason why I say more costs is because at $15, 1 point for every $15 to get to 15,000 PQP is $225,000, people. It's not worth it. Just take the trip. And I don't even mean that as a pun tonight, RJ. I'm literally saying if you want to get status, it's better to, we're just going to take some trips instead of trying to like ball out and buy out. It's not worth it. It's literally not worth it. Now, those are great. And those are not meant to, hey, if I spend a lot, I'm going to get status. Those are there for people that are already flying. And hopefully they spend on the card and it bumps them up to the next status. That's what that spend is actually there for. And this is nothing new. Go look at the math for any of, Delta or American. They all do it. It's all going to be this ridiculous amount of spend number. So I don't have a problem with the question. It's just I wouldn't participate in the question as it's written because it would just cost too much. You might as well just go take some flights and earn status the organic way. Doesn't matter if it's an alliance partner, anything like that. All these airline credit cards are going to operate very similarly. They're not going to be apples to apples, but it's going to be, Granny Smith to Honeycrit. Yes, they're still apples. They're going to operate the same way because it's all a business. And if the top three, the big three, are acting this way, the little ones are going to be acting even worse than that. They're going to be even worse if you go look in some of those. So me personally, I'm going to say I don't want any part of buying airline status through credit card spend. And that's my final answer.
That is completely fair. We'll throw over to RJ next.
Buy first class, don't care about status, get 95% of what you would get from status by just sitting in the front of the plane, go to a lounge that you have access on another credit card. Enjoy your life. Don't worry about it. That's my entire answer. I yield my floor.
That's fair. Tariq, any additional?
I just decided at that point I'd get the Sapphire Reserve and work my way there because the only other Star Alliance realistically that I could even consider potentially working with would be Air Canada. And it's been a few months since I did this, but I did calculations based on like trying to use Aeroplan miles to book domestic United flights. And I don't live in a United hub. I live about 3 hours away from a United hub. No thanks. I would just do the RJ route of just paying for the first class seats that I want. And you never know. I think if I could, I'm sure the $300 travel credit from the Sapphire Reserve, if I could use that to pay for the United Club membership and get the $300 back and get $300 for United Club access, or get United Club access for $350, I think I'd be cool with that. So at that point, I would just, what the hell? at that point,
Air Canada, so I thought I'd.
Oh, Canada.
I don't think Canada likes this. I don't even think I'd even be able to apply when they see my address. You think Chase would have a terminal down there? Canada would say no too.
We can't currently go be tourists in Canada right now, but keep going.
But yeah, at that point, I just go for the Sapphire Reserve, see if I can dabble in Sapphire lounges or not use my $300 travel credit that'll get towards the United Club membership and call it a day. So yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I not gonna try to do the loyalty thing. Plus, I still have access to Mileage Plus X. So because that's not stacking loyalty points. That's just stacking United miles.
There we go. Yeah, I would echo. If you're looking to fly, I know that for Jared's specific situation, Cathay Pacific is his the primary airline he wants to fly for reasons, um, and they're valid reasons. Like I'm not here to question those reasons. So it makes sense that you would be going after AA. In to kind of answer Jared's question specifically to Jared first, what I would say is that in One World, there is a credit card available in the United States that could be the answer he's looking for in a roundabout way. Now, it would make the most sense for him to go after the American Airlines card. But Cardless last year came out with a card in association with Qatar Airways, the Qatar Airways Privilege Club cards. There's the Signature card and the Infinite card. The Infinite card is a $4.99 annual fee. But what the Infinite card gives you is a year of Privilege Club Gold. That is equal to One World Sapphire. You could then match to One World Sapphire and match to the equivalent status with American Airlines or Cathay Pacific and fly or earn with American Airlines or Cathay Pacific to maintain status with American Airlines and Cathay Pacific while taking a $499 shortcut to get that status in the first place. This might be the quick and dirty answer because it will give you this year of status for you. You're going to have to do a boatload of spend with this credit card if you're looking to spend on it. I would take this, research how to status match between with One World Sapphire and get it to status match over to the equivalent with American Airlines, so you can at least fly American Airlines to keep with American Airlines status to keep that status going forward, and status match it and have that reciprocated with Cathay Pacific. The Cathay Pacific credit cards were recently discontinued for application. Maybe they're reworking them because those are terrible credit cards, and maybe they'll offer an option that could like a high annual fee option that could meet your specific need. The Qatar card could work as a shortcut to kind of give you what you want right now. But year two, I would cancel that card and then go after the American, like go after keeping American Airlines status with the Advantage Executive World Elite MasterCard and kind of go from there. Or international business and international first class comes with lounge access with the airline that you're flying. So like, I know there's no easy way to do Cathay other than Citi, and maybe Capital One as a transfer partner. But if you're able to land international business and first class with Cathay, you're going to get into Cathay lounges. You're going to be able to experience all of that, and you're going to get Cathay status pretty quickly. But the quickest shortcut I can give you right now with a credit card in the One World Alliance is the cardless card with Qatar and status match over from Sapphire, and do the math you got to do to keep your One World Sapphire with whichever airline you status match over. It's going to cost you $500, but $500 for instant One World Sapphire versus however many AA flights you got to do to get One World Sapphire, however many Cathay flights you got to do to get One World Sapphire. Could be the quickest way. I think this is the best path for you. It is a card that you can buy status with, but keeping that status in year two is going to be hard with that particular card because it's like $225,000 in spend. Don't do that. Just status match over, get what you got to get, and yeah, run from there. Um, so thanks, Jared. Let's jump back to Keith. Keith's next question is, what is your favorite card and why is it your favorite card? I can guess probably everybody's favorite card.
I'll
Let's
take
see
that
it.
challenge. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. For Lonnie, in order, it would be your United Explorer card is probably your number one. Your Chase Sapphire Reserve would be your number two. And your new IHG Premier would probably be your third favorite card.
I am not going to say you're off, but I'll put my CSR as number one.
Okay.
CSR would instantly go number one. Now, first off, I love all my cards inclusively, and I treat them all equally. But CSR has been rocking with me for a very long time, and I know a lot of people are always in this battle of CSR or Chase Sapphire Reserve versus Chase Sapphire Preferred, and they're looking on after $300, how do I get my effective annual fee, or how do I get my value back? You only ask that question because you don't have the card. People that have the card are like, yo, I should have got this a long time ago. I'm one of those people, which is why I actually have a video. One of the best best performing videos I ever put out was I will never cancel my Chase Sapphire Reserve video. Came out like December 2023. Still gets viewed, like hits every single day. But anyway, that card provides way more value than what's surface level. It's going back to last week talking about lifestyle cards. This is one card that I can use. I can swipe it. It goes with me everywhere. It's never not in my wallet. If I grab my wallet right now, it's in there. I never not have it in my wallet. And I use it, it provides tools and resources that I use when I travel. And then on top of that, it adds extra value as well. So like, I talk about Lyft a lot. Hopefully that gets extended. I'm still waiting on Matt to drop that video for that news to come out. We're getting really close to March, Matt. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Anyway, I know, right? But that was also ridiculously clutch. I don't need to go through the math. I have other videos out there that I've talked about the math of how Lyft is, you guys want to talk about 1.5 cents per point, you're not doing the math right, because I'm getting 15x because of this card. That's why. That's by far my number one card. I refuse, like I said, I refuse to cancel it. I haven't even turned it. I'm not going to product change it down and then hopefully reapply again, because I'm perpetually over 524. If I do that, I can't reapply. Full stop. So I'm just not going to do it. I got my sign up bonus 7-8 years ago. I'm happy with it. My United card probably is in the top 3, maybe for sure in the top 5. My IHG Premier card is up there. I'm not going to put my brand new Aspire card in that category because it's literally too new. I haven't even had it like 60 something days yet, but I've gotten a lot of value out of it in these first whatever amount of days. This card eats, y'all. This might be I'm never going to cancel card. Keep an eye out later this year as I spend more time with it. This card eats. And do I have any other cards? Oh, my Amex Gold. So that if I took out the top 3, went to top 5, my Amex Gold would definitely be in there as well. Don't know if the Amex Platinum's going to make top 5. Sorry, RJ. But Amex Platinum is a good card too. As for what it is, it's not as good as my CSR in my opinion. If you look at credits versus my usage, not your credits versus your usage, the way I use my cards, my CSR is more valuable to me.
There we go. No, I totally get it. Let's see. I said I could name everybody's favorite card, or I think I can name everybody's favorite card. Tariq, I would have to venture, if I was gonna venture a guess, your top 2 cards are your Freedom Flex because of the insane value that you've gotten on groceries so far in the first year. That's coming to an end soon, but you've done real well with your Freedom Flex. And number two, and I'm going to say this is because of how recent it is, but the insane value that you can drive with this card and it's become your catch-all would be the IHG Premier Business.
Yep, that's accurate. I don't know which would be one or two. I think I'm just leaning towards the IHG Premier. I know it's kind of a recency thing. More is one just because it is a catch-all, and it's been my preferred gas card since I'm losing out on the Freedom Flex on top of the grocery. But yeah, that's fairly accurate, and I still get pretty good value out of the Freedom Flex. So those are like the two cards that stay in my wallet. Those have been like my daily drivers. I'm close on capping out on the Q1 category spend just because I've been not only buying groceries a lot, but I've been buying like a lot of other miscellaneous stuff at my grocery store. Plus, gym memberships are good because I have a fitness program that I've been throwing on there. So, yeah, I would say that's fairly accurate. I don't know what Q2 is going to have in store, but I don't think I'm going to be using my Freedom Flex much in March just because I'm going to probably hit the caps.
We'll know the Freedom Flex Q2 in about 3 or 4 weeks. So, yeah, we'll be on the lookout there. Um, RJ, I would say for your top three, you would be the American Express Green Card is in there in your top three. The American Express Platinum Card is definitely in your top three. And then also for recency and convenience, and they've become your backup program, but the sheer utility of it, the choice card would be in your top three.
I don't actually know if I have a favorite credit card. I have a most used credit card by far. But I don't know if I have a favorite. If I'm gonna pick a top three, the Platinum is definitely in there.
Oh, shoot.
Um, the Blue Business Plus, there we
Yep.
go. That is my most used card by far.
Yep.
Um, by far.
I forgot about it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Um, the thing with the Blue Business Plus though is it's a business like I've been struggling with business cards and my I've been struggling with business cards lately. Anyway, um the thing with the Blue Business Plus though is there's nothing to it. It's just you get 2x everything, which is it's a really nice easy thing, so I use it a lot. Um, the platinum just because of all of the travel credits and just its general like it makes me happy. I can't explain why that card makes me happy, but it just does. Um, I do have a soft spot for the green card. I really do. I'm interested to see how they refresh it. For the purposes of this question, I probably would say that while it's not my most used card, I do use it at least once a month. So I will say the platinum simply because it is always something I use. It is not a business card, which my mental situation, brain go spin. I'll just put it that way. So yeah, I'll say the platinum. I feel towards the platinum the way Lonnie feels towards the CSR. We'll say that.
That's pretty apt. My favorite card, um, my
JetBlue
my
premium card.
no, no, that card can burn in hell. And the people who designed that card can also roast right next to it. Um, yeah, I would love to do it like I would love to see Stanzia Potenza do like a little bit with Joanne and Death and all that. Sorry, that was a little too internet for you. My favorite card is also basically my daily driver. It would be the Wells Fargo autograph. It's just the first card I gravitate toward for most things. Um, I stupidly spend way more at gas stations, not just for gas, but like gas station convenience stores. I spend so much money at gas station convenience stores just driving the amount that I drive. Um, Can't beat the 3X. It's also got access to transfer partners. And I'm going to be doing a video at some point about how Wells Fargo transfer partners aren't nearly as bad as everyone says it says they are. Um, it's the card I go to the most. It's the card I get the most value out of. Like one of my biggest things. It's my backup dining card. It can do 3 times points on cell phones if I needed it to. It's got cell phone insurance. It's got access to transfer partners, as I've said. It's just a strong, underrated card. Where I would love to see it, swap 1 or 2 categories. Now that the Attune is out and the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey is out, I would love to see it add a grocery category, and it just becomes an absolute killer card and makes the Wells Fargo lineup even better than it already is. Yeah, after that, I love my my Sapphire Reserve. Holy crap, I nearly said the wrong card. No, I love my Sapphire Reserve. That
I'm
is
just gonna
also a card.
say, I just wish that you would have said that for the bit, and we would
He's
have
been
saved
lying
it.
to us this whole
I was about to
time.
say, I would have held that against him. I would have saved this video and plastered everywhere.
Oh,
Matt Clausen is lying to you. He loves the Sapphire Preferred. He just wants all
You're a
for
big
himself.
fat
You're a
phony.
big fat phony.
Dang it,
Everyone
Lonnie.
is a big fat phony.
What? Why was I going to the exact same Family Guy bit?
Anyway, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no. If I had to pick a third card in like a top 3, oh man, the third card would be hard. Probably the Attune, just because of the 4% stuff, and getting 4% back on Amazon is just awesome.
I have a correction to my list.
Sure.
As I was thinking about my cards, the business gold, because it runs all of my it runs all my Apple spend that is not my phone. So all of my monthly subscriptions through Apple are all on the business gold, and I spend a decent amount at Apple on their app store, so that all goes through there.
Yeah, I was
So
surprised
that would
that
probably replace the green. You know what? I have
I
a
was
lot of
surprised Matt didn't throw
cards.
that in there.
I have a lot of cards, and sometimes I use that card like multiple times a month, but I don't think about it because it's for a specific thing. It's not like my Blue Business Plus, which I use sort of as my catch-all. So, but I wanted to put that in there because that card, I love that card simply because I spend so much at Apple, guys. It's not an addiction; it's a choice. I promise.
It's the real
She could
lifestyle
quit
card.
she could quit whenever she feels like it. She
Promise.
can quit
Just
anytime.
one more phone and 15 more updates.
It's when RJ starts talking about darkness retreats that we'll really have to start worrying. So thanks, Keith, for that one. And we're going right back to Keith because Keith asks, if you could add one feature, category multiplier, transfer partner, or protection to your favorite card, what would that be? And would you be willing to pay a higher annual fee for that improvement? And why do you think the card needs this improvement? So I'll jump off. For the love of all that is holy, we have made streaming a 4% category on the Wells Fargo Attune. The Wells Fargo autograph card no longer needs 4%, 3% streaming. Let's swap out 3% streaming and give Wells Fargo a grocery category so the internet can shut the fuck up about it. And Wells Fargo would then beat Chase and beat Citi and beat everybody across the board and beat them senselessly with your point earning possibilities. Your point redeeming possibilities might be different. But hear me out. If the autograph got 3 times groceries, it would be 3 times points on travel in transit, 3 times points on dining, 3 times points on cell phones. I can get rid of 3 times points on cell phones on that card too, whatever. 3 times points on grocery, 1 times points on everything else. The Wells Fargo Attune would be 4 times points on all the things that's 4 times points on, health and wellness and sports and recreation and transit. It's annoying that the Attune is 4 times points on transit, but whatever. The autograph journey would be 5 times points on hotels, 4 times points on flights booked directly, 3 times points on travel, 1x points on everything else, and the active cash would be 2 times points on everything. All of those cards can pull points together. You can transfer those points out to their limited set of transfer partners that are the same transfer partners that everybody else has in some form or fashion. It's fine. They would just be like 1 or 2 transfer partners away from just like becoming dominant. Would I pay an annual fee to swap this in? No. Why? Because the autograph has no annual fee. So yeah, and why do I think the card needs this improvement? Because it would make the internet shut up and would make me happy. So, RJ, what feature, category, multiplier, transfer partner, protection would you want to add to your favorite card, and what would that be?
Dear American Express, because we all knew it was gonna be American Express. Please put mobile wallet on. I'll take the platinum. I'll take the business gold. I'll take a new card that you've relaunched because you sheltered 3 cards and then didn't say anything about it. I don't care. Just like give me a mobile wallet, like a 2x mobile wallet on the platinum for like an extra $100 annual fee. I would take that. Like I would be cool with that. I'm good. Like just give me mobile wallet. 2x fine, 3x would be great. Just please give me mobile wallet because I don't want to have to deal with US Bank and the altitude reserve is not for public application. Not that they would give it to me. So just please, Amex, do this for me. I spend so much money through you. Just give me this one thing and I will, no, I won't shut up. But like I will be quiet for 15 minutes. You will have 15 minutes of my silence.
How high of an annual fee would you pay on the American Express Platinum card if it gave you a minimum of 2.5% mobile wallet, 2.5x mobile wallet, and let's say 3x mobile wallet?
Hold on. Because I have a sheet of how much these cards I get from having these cards. So give me a second. Because I can tell you how well I make out. Okay, so I make out 225 on the platinum. So I could go comfortably to 900 and still be ahead on credits and then just get points. So I would be okay. I wouldn't like it, but I could go to 900 personally and still be okay.
Okay. All right. Um, Lonnie, what chase card needs a grocery category, or what feature, category, multiplier, transfer partner would you add to your favorite card, and would you be willing to pay a higher annual fee for it?
It's funny that you say that because I actually wouldn't ask Chase to create a grocery category. I think there's too many cards of grocery categories out there, just like there's too many cards of dining categories out there. And I got my MX Gold, which rolls into my MX Platinum when I actually want to use my MX Platinum benefit. So I'm not going in the direction you thought it was going in, Matt. Your crystal ball was wrong. Shake that magic 8 ball again. Anyway, not even joking. Daycare, straight up. Can we add daycare to a credit card? This is the built 2.0 right here, y'all. Where like, oh, rent and mortgage gets points. Care gets points, and it doesn't even have to be for kids. What if you're like taking care of a relative, your mother, or someone like that? Pay up 5x, sure. 1x. Well, 1x I wouldn't do because as long as I can take a credit card to get 1x, but give me like 2 or 3 or whatever. So, but let's just be real. That stuff's expensive. Another small one, automotive, but treat it like travel. So automotive is not just gas. You need to go to AutoZone and get new tires or something for your car. Anything the same way Chase has anything that codes as travel, anything that codes as automotive, I think would be great. So, you want to spruce up your car? Sure. You need new tires, new brakes, maintenance, oil change. That stuff should actually, I think that should hit as a bonus category as well. In the same vein, entertainment. That should be collective entertainment category: movies, bowling alleys, Dave and Buster arcades. 'Cause what else? What else? Go karts,
Chuck E.
Sports
Cheese,
and
perhaps.
concerts.
yeah, sports and concerts. Like anything that codes as entertainment should be a bonus category. How that looks, whatever. I'll let other people that are hired to do that figure that stuff out. But then, last but not least, I want to see. I would like to see an airline card that actually flipping does Insta status, and I would actually pay for that card. I would.
Status year over year, not 1 year, right?
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
just like a hotel card. Yeah, as long as you're holding it, you got certain status. I think we need an airline card that does that. And if we can't get that, we need a specified boarding group lane that says card holders of our card get to board in this lane. Pre-boarding, group one, whatever. But group one is like everyone that falls into group one. This is like we are the special people that get to go through on the red carpet lane over here. Like something if you're holding the card. I think there's a lot when you're buying a card and when you're flying, but there's nothing that like really makes you stand out from every other passenger or consumer once you check in for your flight.
I could take any of those. Before I turn to Tariq, I asked my colleagues if I could revise my answer of grocery on the Wells Fargo autograph to instead be warehouses.
Better answer.
Much appreciated. Tariq, your answer here.
So I was definitely thinking about the entertainment category before Lonnie swooped in and took it. No
I just
biggie.
RJ'd you. That's what happened.
It is what it is. But realistically, I think what was it, Q3 last year on the Freedom Flex when I had entertainment? Yeah, that was fun, especially stacking with Knowledge Plus X. I had a blast. Yeah, I would realistically throw my saver in the fire if Chase had an entertainment category spin. But since you didn't throw groceries, I'll throw groceries. And since the ISG Premier and the Premier Business are essentially one and the same, throw it on there. They give me the 5X on groceries. And I still have I have my year one Freedom Flex just in IHG points. So I'll be cool with that. And I'd pay an additional annual fee. I'd pay like $149 for that for a grocery category. Sure, why not?
You know which company has a really great grocery category, Tariq, that you might like?
If it's American Express, no, because I don't really use their transfer partners like that. So, no. And I'll say it again, no. Because I'm not flying Delta and Marriott at one, what was it, 1-to-1? No thanks. Maybe Hilton, but I'm okay.
All right. Well, thanks, Tariq. Yeah, so that'll do it for our questions. If you want to drop us a line for a question, please utilize the Friday video for that as we drop these on Fridays. You can also join the Stack Your Points Discord and help us join the Stack Your Points Discord and use the podcast questions sections of the Discord to ask questions there, or email us at stackyourpoints@gmail.com. We appreciate you watching this portion. Thanks so much. So yeah, that'll do it for our topics. If you like what we do here on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. Please drop us a comment on the main show and drop your questions in the question show if you have any. Lonnie, if folks wanted to find you on the internet, where's the best place to find you?
You can find me right here on YouTube or call me Lonnie. All one word, Lonnie spelled Lani. And if not there, the Stack Your Points Discord, just drop me a DM or at me, whichever.
There you go.
They both work.
Tariq, best place to find you?
Definitely going to be the Stack Your Points Discord and Reeks Rewards as well. If they're here for the riot, I will bring a fire extinguisher for your for your torches. So yeah, I know, broken record. The record player will get fixed eventually.
And RJ, best place to find you.
Stack Your Points Discord, probably telling people they're overthinking their math. That's my thing lately. Well, not lately, always.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely invite you to join the Stack Your Points Discord. We leave a link in the description as always. We put the show out on YouTube here on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesday is the main show, Friday is the question show. We put the full audio available on Saturdays on the podcatcher of your choice. So please drop us 5 stars in the podcatcher of your choice to help us grow the brand there as well. Thank you so much for watching or listening this week. We look forward to seeing you next week.